It was a late summer afternoon, and everything was well in the little mouse hole behind the third wooden panel in the left side wall in the attic of the large old farmhouse. Oh, wait! I think I spoke too soon. It looks like Mother Mouse is going to have her first baby. Nervously, Father Mouse ran back and forth between the kitchen and the bedroom with warm water and towels. He was so nervous that he almost dropped everything. This was, after all, their first child. He was going to be a father. Little Raoul turned out to be not very brave. At least not in the beginning of this story. When Father showed him a little toy rattle, Raoul screamed. While laying down in his cradle, he was even scared of his own dancing shadow, cast on the ceiling by the moving flame of the candle. 11 months later. Today was Raoul's 11-month birthday, and just this morning Mother had given birth to her 25th child, a little baby girl whom they had named Baby Sis. Already that same night, Mother was up and ready to go out to brag about Baby Sis to her friends who lived in the garden under the blueberry bush. Standing in front of the mirror, she was putting on her makeup. "Raoul," she shouted, "Father and I will be out for a couple of hours. Please keep an eye on your siblings, and especially look after Baby Sis." Raoul looked up from his book, panic-stricken. "But what am I supposed to do?" Mother sighed, frustrated. "Nothing too difficult, son. Just have a look now and then. That's all." Raoul rubbed his tummy in an attempt to calm down all the butterflies that suddenly had appeared there. "Okay, Mother," he answered nervously. "I will try." Mother grabbed her husband by his arm and dragged him to the front door. "Hurry up now. If we're too late, there will be no food left. You know how your friends are." And gone they were. "Just have a look now and then," Raoul mumbled to himself, repeating his mother's last words. "That doesn't sound too difficult." Taking care not to awake his many siblings, Raoul tiptoed into the large living room that was filled with 25 little beds. To his relief, everyone was deep asleep. When suddenly, there was a sound coming from the mouse hole entry behind him. Quickly, Raoul turned around and saw 2 large yellow cat eyes staring at him. Said the cat, licking his lips. Raoul ran screaming into his bedroom, where he hid under his bed. The sound of breaking wood had awoken the sleeping mice, and seeing that big cat face had made them jump out of bed. Tomcat, that was the cat's name, squeezed himself into the living room and started to hunt. Oh, how he enjoyed this game! However, it wasn't as easy as he had thought. These little creatures were too fast and kept slipping through his paws. Then, suddenly, all the mice were gone, hidden in places he couldn't find. All but one. From one of the beds, a little head peeked up. "Mammy?" baby Sis asked. Tomcat snapped her out of her bed. "Call me Daddy," he grinned. Later that evening, life in the little mouse hole in the attic of the large old farmhouse wasn't all that well any longer. Mother sat crying on baby Sis' bed, with her children gathered around her, while Raoul, with a trembling voice, described what had happened and how ashamed he felt, having hidden under his bed. Father comforted him, saying that everyone would have reacted the same and that he shouldn't feel guilty about it. "That must have been Tomcat," shouted Marcus, upset. "Large, black, and a terrible temper. I met him once in the old barn where he lives, and almost ended up as his dinner." Mother jumped from the bed and firmly grabbed Father's hand. "Go after him now, before he kills our little baby," she cried desperately. But Marcus shook his head. "We are too old to fight him, and the old barn is far away. Baby Sis would be dead by the time we would arrive. We need a young, brave warrior." After which he looked at Raoul, who had heard every word. "But I've never been outside," squeaked Raoul in fear. "And Tomcat is gigantic and terrifying." "He may be big and intimidating," Marcus said, "but he's also very stupid. Even being small, Raoul, you are much smarter, and that's what counts." Quickly, Marcus drew a map for Raoul, showing the route to the old barn. "Tomcat likes to eat at home in peace, so you have around 4 hours to rescue baby Sis. Cross a small sandy road, the river, and the large yellow field. Ah, yes," Marcus concluded, "and look out for the large dog who guards the old barn." Raoul swallowed painfully. It was time to leave. Nervously, Raoul hugged his parents and Uncle Marcus goodbye and set his first step outside his safe little mouse hole, trembling all over. Standing at the side of the small sandy road, Raoul tried to see the other side and understood where it got its name. This seemed to be an easy task. Filled with confidence, the little mouse did a step forward, but almost got hit by a car. He screamed and jumped back into the grass. Angrily, the little mouse crawled back on his feet. "How difficult could it be to cross a road?" he said out loud to himself. But he was a little more careful while putting his feet a second time on the road. "You'll never make it on your own," croaked a voice above him. Raoul looked up and saw a large black bird circling above the road. "What you need is some air control. I will guide you so you can safely cross over." The bird started to give directions. "Run! Stop! Now go left! Now go right! Run! Stop! Almost there! Now! Run fast!" Relieved and out of breath, Raoul jumped into the grass on the other side of the road. The bird landed next to Raoul and extended his large black wing as a greeting. "My name is Come On," he croaked enthusiastically. A little overwhelmed by the large bird, the little mouse shook his wing cautiously. Thanks for your help," Raoul mumbled and continued to walk in the direction of the old barn. But it looked like the bird didn't want to let him go just like that. "What were you doing?" croaked Come On. "Did you try to kill yourself? Don't. You're still so young." It seemed that his new feathered friend wouldn't stop asking questions until he knew the whole story. But Raoul didn't have the time to stand there and talk. "Walk with me and I will tell you," Raoul sighed. Although the distance from the road to the river was quite short, for Raoul it felt eternal. Because Raoul was now trying to rescue his sister, the bird might think he is a hero. But what hero would hide under his bed while his family was being slaughtered in the next room? That part Raoul kept for himself. "What a great story," Come On croaked as they reached the shore of the river. "That must have been so exciting for you." Raoul said nothing, but blushed, ashamed. After all, he hadn't exactly behaved like a warrior. Raoul asked, "Come on, could you fly me to the other side of the river? I can't swim, and besides, the water looks very dirty." The bird stared at him. "I'm strong, Raoul, but you are far too heavy. Besides, I have urgent business elsewhere," he said as he started flapping his wings. "Good luck, little mouse. Take care of your little sister." He lifted off, leaving behind Raoul, who had to figure out a way to cross that river. "Maybe I can help you," said a nearby voice. A large head peeked out of the dirty water, almost like a mouse, but much larger. "Hi there," the rat greeted shyly. "My name is Sewer." Clumsily, the rat climbed out of the water and walked towards Raoul. "You could take the river tunnel," said the rat. Raoul's eyes lightened up. "A tunnel? Can you show me where it is? I need to save my little sister from a dangerous cat. I'm on a rescue mission." "I will show you," said the rat, "but only if you tell me all about it. I love rescue stories." Raoul nodded and followed the rat to the large tunnel that led to the other side of the river. With Sewer leading the way, Raoul told the story for the second time. The moment Raoul and Sewer left the tunnel and walked into the large yellow field, two large claws grabbed them and pulled them into the air. Within seconds, they were flying high above the field. Raoul looked up and saw that they were caught by a large owl. "That's Night Hunter," Sewer whispered fearfully. "I completely forgot about him." Raoul shook his head in disbelief. "You forgot? We need to escape before he reaches his nest." Raoul looked up, grabbed one of Night Hunter's toes, and bit as hard as he could. The owl screeched in pain and dropped them immediately. At high speed, Raoul and Sewer fell down to the forest below. Dizzy from the long fall down, Raoul opened his eyes. "Ow," he moaned, while rubbing a large bump on his forehead. Slowly he got up on his feet and found himself staring into the eyes of a big, terrifying, drooling dog. Sewer started to scream, but Raoul quickly placed his hand over his mouth. "Quiet! This must be Guard Dog. My uncle told me about him. This is Tomcat's farm, and your screaming will lead him directly to us." Guard Dog brought his large face close to them and sniffed them from head to toe. "Who are you? What are you doing here?" he growled. Nervously, Raoul told the large dog how Tomcat had broken into his house and kidnapped his baby sister, and that Raoul and his friend Sewer had come all the way to save her before it would be too late. "I can't stand that cat," said Guard Dog, "and I would love to help you, but I am chained to my house. Good luck, and if you see a chance to chase him to me, I will teach him a lesson he'll never forget." Raoul and Sewer started to walk cautiously toward the old barn. Standing at the entrance of the old barn, Raoul and Sewer peered into the dark, dusty space. "I can't see a thing," said Sewer. "Psst," Raoul whispered. "Tomcat must be here. Maybe he's even looking at us right now." "I've been wondering if you would have the courage to come after me," said Tomcat above them from the attic floor. "Looking for this?" He held baby Sis up by her tail, wiggling her wildly, which made the little mouse scream. "Well, what are you waiting for? Come up here and get her!" Raoul, turning to Sewer, said, "We need a better plan." They left the barn, leaving Tomcat behind, who burst out in laughter. Outside the barn, Raoul looked up the high wooden wall, desperately thinking of a way to rescue baby Sis out of Tomcat's claws. An idea hit him. "Wait here until I call you from inside the barn," he whispered. He then started to climb the wall. Tired from the long climb, Raoul pulled himself up on the roof and slipped through a hole inside the barn. Below him, on the attic floor, was Tomcat, sleeping on top of an upside-down metal bucket. Raoul didn't see, however, his little sister and wondered what the cat had done with her. Quickly, little Raoul jumped down to the attic floor so he could get a better look, but Tomcat had only pretended to be asleep. Slowly, the cat got on his feet. Come a little closer, Raoul, Tomcat grinned. What you are looking for is under here. With these words, he tapped on the bucket. Please let her go, Tomcat. She's only a baby, Raoul begged. Let her go? Tomcat asked with a cruel smile. But then how do I silence my hunger? I'm afraid I can't do that. However, we could make a trade instead. If you take her place, I promise I will let her go. Raoul thought about this for a moment. You would really do that? Tomcat nodded, and although the grin on his face should have warned Raoul that something was wrong, the mouse walked towards the cat. The moment Raoul was in Tomcat's reach, the cat grabbed the mouse and threw him under the bucket with baby Sis. Ha! Tomcat laughed loudly. Gotcha, little mouse. I can't believe you really went for this. I didn't even believe myself when I said it. Raoul kicked himself. He should have known that Tomcat couldn't be trusted. Raoul fell on the floor and started crying. All this was his fault. He and baby Sis were trapped and probably were going to die because he was such a coward.
Skedaddled and hid in the cracks, while baby Sis snoozed in her sack. With big hungry eyes, Tomcat snaffled his prize and dashed to his barn far away. Mother and father say you must be brave and save the day. 'Twas a dangerous mission with fierce opposition, fast-moving cars and an owl. Through a dark tunnel, a bright field of yellow, and to the old barn at last. Now Tomcat has trapped you, he's ready to munch. You must find a way to break free. Mother and father say you must be brave and save the day. I know the world is a scary place for you. But there's a mission that only you can do.
Raoul wiped away his tears and stood up. It was time to stop being such a coward and stand up for himself. He looked at baby Sis. She was deep asleep, but seemed to be okay. They had to escape before Tomcat was going to eat them. But how? While the cat kept on bragging how clever he had been in tricking Raoul, the mouse examined the wooden floor, which seemed to be rotten and very soft. Quickly he sank his sharp teeth into the floor and pulled out large pieces of wood. Within seconds the hole was large enough for him to slip through. Raoul grabbed baby Sis, jumped into the hole, and tumbled down the large haystack towards the ground floor. As fast as they could, Raoul and Suer ran into the large yellow field, Raoul carrying baby Sis in his arms. "We made it!" shouted Suer, relieved. "Now all we have to do is find our way back home." "Quiet!" hissed Raoul. "You are leading Tomcat straight to us. I'm sure he will not let us go just like that." And the mouse was correct. It didn't take long before they heard Tomcat's screaming voice close behind them. With a sudden jerk, Sewer pulled Raoul onto the ground and into a soft pile of warm mud. "Be quiet now," he whispered in Raoul's ear. Screaming angrily, Tomcat ran straight past them and, to Raoul's surprise, missed them completely. Sewer pulled Raoul and Baby Sis out of the mud. "He's gone," he said, relieved. "But how did he miss us?" Raoul asked, confused. "Cats see very well in the dark and have a perfect smell. A little piece of mud doesn't confuse them." Sewer started. "I don't think he pays so much attention to this kind of mud. You see, it's cat stool." Raoul closed his eyes, trying not to vomit. Exhausted, Raoul and Sewer ran towards the small sandy road. Soon they would reach the farm and be safely home again. But could it really be that easy? Where did Tomcat go? "Gotcha!" Tomcat shouted triumphantly while grabbing all three of them at once. "This time you will not be that lucky." But again the cat was mistaken. Instinctively, Raoul sank his sharp, pointy teeth into Tomcat's paw, who screamed and dropped them all at once. Without paying attention to the fast-passing cars, Raoul, with Baby Sis in his arms, and Sewer ran across the road and reached safely the other side. Tomcat, however, wasn't that lucky. Raoul's rescue mission was over. Tomcat was defeated and would never bother anyone any more. More importantly, though, Baby Sis was finally safe. Raoul could finally relax and let out a deep sigh. Walking into the little mouse hole behind the third wooden panel in the left side wall of the attic of the large old farmhouse, Raoul saw that nothing had changed since he had left home. The living room was still a mess because of Tomcat's brutal attack. Only the many beds had been put back into their places. "Raoul!" Uncle Marcus' voice boomed through the living room. Marcus ran towards the exhausted trio and hugged his nephew intensely. Marcus' scream had alerted the others, and immediately father, mother, and all the children came running towards them. There were cries of happiness, and there were lots of hugs and questions. Sewer was welcomed into their family circle, telling them over and over again how thankful they were for his help. "I'm going to make a big feast meal," said Mother excitedly. "But first, could you all please take a bath? The smell is terrible." Everyone laughed. "Yes, Mother," Raoul answered with a bright smile.